Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Leal in this incarnation, and I am here today to talk about Mars and all the aspects that I mentioned in the video of the energies of the week that is creating these days, and that is part of the whole week. So, the last time that Mars in Cancer connected with Uranus in Taurus in a sextile was on January 23rd, but it was retrograde. So, at that moment, it could be shown situations that were telling us that perhaps we need to implement a change of direction or detaching from limitations in experiences linked with home, family, and emotional nutrition. And it was very probable that the situations weren't moving because we needed to look inwards and to generate a new way of acting, of operating, observing external conflicts. This applies for this moment too. Observing external conflicts as a reflection of something internal, perhaps when we are investing energy in spaces that are not being nourishing for us, and they end up creating imbalances. So life has to show us in some way that we are doing that, so we can be aware. And also those changes, it was probable that they weren't able to be carried on because perhaps we didn't have the revelation of the next step. They were depending on other things on the outside. We were dealing with certain processes, etc. So last time that Mars in Cancer created a trine with Saturn was on February 9th, also with Mars retrograde. So there was a moment to plan, to make a plan, or to observe what we wanted to do in the long term that it could actually feel in coherence. And it is an aspect that right now is being reactivated, that accompanies us to have more, to flow better at the moments that we need to establish boundaries. Actually, what helps us to incarnate that energy with authority is just simply to practice them. So now Mars is direct and it is connecting with both of them, Uranus and Saturn, for the last time. So actually, it is closing a cycle that started on October of the last year, 2024. I left in the reproduction list videos talking about Mars and the transpersonals and Mars and Pluto specifically, because this is going to be part of this story. But well, this transit that Mars is creating right now participated of the last solar eclipse in Aries. So finally, Mars is going to culminate this process when it moves to Leo and connect in first place in a harmonic aspect in a trine with Neptune in Aries, and finally opposing to Pluto in Aquarius. That is a very powerful transit, and these last ones are the ones that are opening the doors to the new cycle that the eclipse is opening. And these aspects are speaking of us to of impulse to for new beginnings, that of things that we didn't do before, synchronicities, opportunities, but also this profound deep transformation that it is connected to all the things that we have been experimenting from October of 2024 till this point. That includes for example, the opposition of Mars and Pluto is still in Capricorn. Well, a lot of things that we have experimented in the last degrees of the house in which we have Cancer, and the first degrees of the house that we have Leo. So I'm going to retake this thing of Mars and Pluto in short, because we feel transits with Mars with a lot of anticipation, and it is a very tense aspect that can represent conflicts in the collective and in our personal lives. But with the objective, so we can see, we can observe outside, because that is the tendency with oppositions, what we need to transform inside so we can irradiate what we are, because that is Mars in Leo. Coming back to the present moment, Mars in Cancer, already direct, it is like setting the basis, the previous basis in our projects, in our inner side. It is about assuming the commitment to what feels in alignment with ourselves. Because if we are taking burdens, if we are not being coherent with the things that we are feeling, and this week also with the conjunction of Venus and Saturn, we are going to see this clearly, we cannot feed what is important for us and the things that we really want to materialize. I'm going to put a very clear example. If I want to feel steady, stable, emotionally, to create the projects that are making me feel at home, and I end up seeing my energy to people and situations that are producing the contrary, the opposite, then we cannot expect that magically, things and opportunities are occurring. So this phasing in Cancer with these aspects, these fluid aspects, are accompanying us to consolidate internally and to free ourselves, that is Saturn, and to free ourselves, Uranus in Taurus, of what is making us feel in a stagnation, whether these are perceptions or spaces. So when Mars enters Leo, we could open our way in the world, being who we are, or approaching our creations with a strength, because that's how we can truly help other people or making our contribution to community. That is what the axis Leo Aquarius actually represents. So I just wanted to leave this message today. Thank you, everyone, and see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.